Hi students, this is Kartik Trivedi and you are watching a lecture series of Applied Thermodynamics with me. Hi students, in today's topic we're gonna cover a two-stage compression system with flash gas removal, water and flash intercooler as well as liquid subcooler. So this is known as complete two-stage compression system, or you can say compound two-stage compression system, where you will have all the components: flash gas removal, intercooler and subcooler. So those who haven't seen those episode number 8, 9 and 10, first go there and see that. Okay, so we have covered each and every one component individually, and then now what we have done in this video, we have combined all these components and make a complete two-stage compression system. So this is known as complete two-stage compression system. Okay, so here you can see the circuit over here. This is the evaporator, compressor 1, this is water intercooler, this is compressor 2, this is condenser, this is water subcooler, this is the flash chamber which is working as flash gas removal, these are the two expansion valve, and these are the evaporator. This is pH diagram, pressure versus enthalpy, and the COP, equation of COP. Now let us understand this thing. Okay, so now here you can see that 921 is evaporation process. So from state 9, or you can say from point 9, a liquid refrigerant, M1 mass of liquid refrigerant enter the evaporator, where latent heat absorption will take place. So what will happen? Constant pressure, constant temperature, heat absorption. So after passing through evaporator 8.1, or you can say at state 1, you will have a vapor refrigerant. So 921, here you can see that 921 is a evaporation process. Okay, so here we are getting the refrigerating effect. So from point 9, liquid refrigerant enters the evaporator, latent heat absorption takes place, and at point 1 you have a vapor refrigerant. So that's why you can see that point 1 is on saturated vapor line. Okay, so that means point 1 is in vapor state. After passing through evaporator, this is point 1 which is at a vapor state. Now from 1 to 2, compression take place in compressor number 1. So now 1 to 2, compression will take place. So we already know at point 1, refrigerant is already in a vapor state. So if you do the compression, what will happen? Pressure and the temperature of the refrigerant will increase. So it is already in a vapor region. If you increase the temperature, so it will go to the superheated region. So at point 2, here this is the point 2 which is in superheated region. Now what we will do? Now we will pass this superheated vapor refrigerant to this water intercooler. Okay, so water will do the cooling separately. So this is the water intercooler will be happening over here. So what is happening? Rejecting the heat to that circulating water. So 2 to 3 intercooling will be happen. So you can see that point 2 you are at a superheated region, and at point 3 intercooling will be take place. So this is point 2 to 3. So we know that this water intercooler will not do the 100% put it into the vapor region, but what it will do, it will cool down, little bit cool down. So what will happen? At point 3 you will come to a region which is also superheated region, but less compared to point 3, compared to point 2. So 2 to 3 intercooling is happening. So 2 to 3 water intercooling is happening. So heat is rejected to the circulating water. So from point 2 to 3. So now what is happening? Here the little bit cooling is happening over here. So what will happen at point 3? You are also in superheated region, but you are in a less superheated compared to point 2. Now so you are at over here at point 3. Now at point 3, M1 superheated vapor will enter this flash chamber. Now in flash chamber, we will have a liquid refrigerant over here, and this is the superheated vapor is coming over here. So what will happen? So here already liquid refrigerant is already over here in the flash chamber, and the superheated vapor is entering. So what will happen? Heat transfer will take place, and some of the liquid refrigerant will evaporate. Let's say M2 minus M1 liquid refrigerant evaporate. So M1 coming, M2 minus M1 evaporate. So M1 coming plus M2 minus M1 evaporate. So M1 cancel. So M2 vapor will be goes up. M2 vapor will be goes up. Okay, and remaining liquid refrigerant is also going to be over here. So M2 vapor will goes up. So M2 vapor will goes up. So at point 4, you will have a M2 vapor, but this is in vapor region. So cooling is happening. So this superheated vapor, M1 superheated vapor is cooled down in this flash chamber, and what will happen? So this superheated vapor will be converted to the vapor state. So from 3 to 4, superheated to vapor. So here we have done the cooling with the help of flash chamber. So 3 to 4. So in 3.3 you are in superheated region. At 0.4 you will comes to the vapor region. So M2 4.4. So we are on a vapor line. So you can see that it's 0.4 is on vapor line. Now 4 to 5, that is a second compressor. So 4 to 5 compression is happening. So here you can see that 4 to 5 compression is happening. We know that 0.4 is already in a vapor region on a vapor line. If you compressed it further, what will happen? Pressure and temperature increase. So it is already in vapor region. If you compress it further, 8.5, you will be in a superheated region. So this is the 0.5. Now 5 to 6. 5 to 6 is condensation happening. So we know that in condensation, heat will be rejected. Latent heat will be rejected. Constant pressure, constant temperature, heat rejection. So 5 to 6 condensation. So at 0.6, you know that you are on a liquid line, because what will happen? Vapor will reject the heat and convert it into the liquid refrigerant. So that's why at 0.6 you are on a liquid line. You can see that you are 0.6 on a liquid line. Now what we will do, here we will use subcooled. So you can see that between 0.6 to 6 tests, there is a one water subcooler. So now what we will do, at 0.6 we are on a liquid line. So now what we gonna do, we are gonna cool it down further. So we are going to cool it down further by this water subcooler. So what we gonna do, we are going to cool it down further from this 0.6 to 6 days. So we know that at 0.6 you are already on liquid line. If you cool it down further, you will reach to the subcooled region. So at 0.6 days you are in a subcooled region. So 0.6 days you are at a subcooled region. So what we have done, we have done the subcooling. So that's why this is known as water subcooler. Okay, so at 0.6 days you are over here. So now this is the 0.6 days. Now what you will do, you want to enter this flash chamber, but you know that this flash chamber is working at an intermediate pressure. I already told you, this is the evaporator pressure or low pressure, this is intermediate pressure, and this is condenser pressure or high pressure. So at 0.6 days you are at a high pressure, and if you want to enter this flash chamber which is at intermediate pressure, you have to reduce its pressure by expansion valve. So that's why between 6 days to 7 there is one expansion valve. So 6 days to 7 expansion will happen, throttling happen. We know that throttling constant enthalpy process. So it will be like vertical line downward side like this, and at 0.7 now you are at intermediate pressure. And what will happen? You will enter to this flash chamber. So now at 0.7 you have entered to the flash chamber. Now what will flash chamber do? You know that this is colder liquid refrigerant. What will happen here? It will cool down the M1 mass of refrigerant. Also, now what will happen? This flash chamber is working as a flash gas removal. Flash chamber is working as flash gas removal. So I already told you what is the function of flash gas removal. It will separate the liquid and vapor refrigerant. So what will happen? Vapor refrigerant will goes up, and at 0.8 you will have only liquid refrigerant. So what will happen? 7 to 8, you can see that at 0.7 you have a liquid plus vapor both mixture. At 0.7 you have liquid plus vapor both mixture. Only liquid refrigerant enters through the evaporator. So 7 to 8 liquid separated, and whatever the vapor is over here, it is going to be mixed with this M1 vapor coming up over here. So you can see that it is mixing with 2, 3 and 4 process like this. So vapor is separated. So here vapor is separated and it goes there, and liquid will go entering to the evaporator. So here the liquid will be separated at 0.8. So that's why you can see that at 0.7 you are in liquid plus vapor region. So vapor will goes over here and liquid will be separated. So that's why 0.8 you are on a liquid line. So it shows that you have separated the vapor and you have separated the liquid. So at 0.8 you are on a liquid line. Now at 0.8 you are liquid line, but you are at intermediate pressure. If you want want to pass through the liquid refrigerant to the evaporator, so what you have to do, because at point 8 you have an intermediate pressure and we know that evaporator is working at a lower pressure, so this is the evaporator pressure. So first what you have to do, you have to reduce its pressure by expansion valve. So that's why between 8 to 9 we have put the expansion valve. So what will happen? Throttling happen, pressure will be reduced. So you can say 8 to 9 throttling, constant enthalpy process, pressure reduced, and at point 9 now you are at a evaporator pressure, and now this liquid refrigerant will enters the evaporator, and now this cooling will be happen over here 9 to 1, and the whole process is repeated. So this is how a complete two-stage compression system will work. Now let us see the equation of COP. We know that COP is equal to what? Capacity upon power. Now capacity is equal to what? Mass flow rate into refrigerating effect. So we know that refrigerating effect is happening in evaporator, so it is 9 to 1. So what is refrigerating effect? H1 minus H9 multiplied by mass flow rate. So we know that in evaporator M1 mass of liquid refrigerant circulates. So that's why multiply by M1 dot means mass flow rate kg per second divided by power. So we know that power means power flow rate into compressor work. So we know that here 2 compression is over there. So first 1 to 2 compression. So compression will be H2 minus H1 multiplied by mass flow rate. So we know that in 1 to 2 M1 mass is circulating. So 1 to 2 M1 mass is circulating. So multiply by mass flow rate. So M1 dot plus second compression, which is 4 to 5. So compression work will be H5 minus H4 multiply by, so 4 to 5 we know that the M2 mass is circulating. So it will be M2 dot H5 minus H4. Okay. Why M2 dot? Because it shows kg per second. It shows mass flow rate kg per second. So this is the equation of COP. So I hope you will like this video. So this is the complete two-stage compression system. So I hope you will like this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.